All right, let's jump right in. Over the next few minutes, we're going to talk about a massive shift happening right now, how we build AI agents at cloud scale. We'll look at the AWS vision, the open source tools that are making it all possible, and what it really means when your software starts to think.
And this quote from AWS's Anjay Barth really sets the stage perfectly. We're not just talking about adding a little AI chatbot to a website. We are talking about a fundamental reinvention of everything. Think about what that actually means for how we interact with technology.
To get a sense of the scale here, just look at this number, 600 million. That's how many Alexa devices are out in the world. And right now, the entire experience for every single one of them is being rebuilt from the ground up using AI agents.
And hey, this isn't some far-off theory. The new Alexa is already showing us what's possible. We're talking about an agent that can manage your family's crazy schedules, plan an entire trip based on flights and weather, and even walk you through fixing a leaky faucet. And it does all that by coordinating thousands of different services behind the curtain.
This really points to where it's all going. A future filled with specialized agents, each an expert at one thing, but all working together in concert. We're moving away from basic web services toward what you could call agentic services. But that brings up a huge question for all the builders out there. How do you even start to build something like that?
So let's bring this down to earth with a really cool example, the Amazon Q Developer Agent. This is basically an AI sidekick that lives in your command line. It can help you hunt down bugs, answer tough coding questions, and even handle files for you. It's designed to make a developer's job way easier.
So I want you to take a second and just guess. Really think about it. To build a polished, ready-to-go AI agent like that from nothing, how long do you think a team of smart engineers would need? 6 months? A year?
You know, if you asked a bunch of developers, you'd get answers all over the board. Some would probably say 6 months, which sounds about right. Others might be a bit more optimistic and say, maybe 2 months if they really hustle.
The actual answer is just wild. The team built and shipped this entire thing in 3 weeks. Not 3 months, 3 weeks. That kind of speed is a complete game changer. It means the new advantage isn't just about what you can build, but about how incredibly fast you can do it.
So how on earth is that even possible? Well, the secret is a totally new way of thinking, and it's all wrapped up in a new open source tool that AWS has just put out there for everyone to use.
It's called Strand Agents, and the big idea here is that it's a framework that lets developers tap into the amazing reasoning power of today's big language models. This lets them stop worrying about the nitty-gritty details of how the agent works, and instead focus on the mission, the what.
And the name itself is so cool. And AI actually came up with it. It's this idea of 2 strands of DNA, right? You've got one strand, the model, which is the brain. It does all the thinking, planning, and deciding. And you have the other strand, the tools, which are the hands. They perform the actual actions. Strand Agents is the magic that weaves those two together.
What this does is it boils the whole development process down to 3 simple steps that, honestly, will feel super familiar to any developer. First, you just define what you want to do and what tools you need, right in your code. Second, you test it out on your own machine. And third, once you know it works, you push it to the cloud to let it scale. It's clean, simple, and makes a ton of sense.
And this thing comes packed with goodies right out of the box. You're not stuck with one AI model. You can plug in Bedrock, OpenAI, Llama, you name it. It has more than 20 pre-built tools ready to go. Plus, it has advanced stuff for memory and RAG, which is just a fancy way of saying it can pull in outside knowledge. And it supports this thing called MCP, which we'll get to in just a second because it's super important.
Okay, so building an agent on your laptop is cool. But the real magic and the real challenge is scale. How do you take these incredible tools and make them available to millions or even billions of people? That's where the cloud comes in.
And this is a problem every developer knows. You build this awesome tool, this great script, and it's just stuck. It's on your laptop. It's not accessible to anyone else, and it definitely can't handle 1 million requests a second.
Well, the AWS solution here is just so smart. You take your tool and you wrap it in MCP, the Model Tool Communication Protocol. Think of it like a universal adapter for agents and tools. Then you just deploy that tool as a serverless Lambda function. And just like that, your little local script is now a secure, scalable service in the cloud that any agent can call.
To really make this click, let's use a fun little example, something any Dungeons & Dragons player will know and love. We're going to build a tool that does one simple thing. It rolls a 20-sided die, a D20.
So here's how it works in this new, scaled-up world. The agent decides it needs to roll the dice. But, and this is the key, it doesn't run the code itself. Nope, it just shoots off a secure request to an API in the cloud. That API triggers the Lambda function with our little dice roller inside. It runs, gets a number, let's say a 7, and sends that result right back. It's simple, secure, and can scale forever.
So we've got agents that can talk to tools. What's the next logical leap? Well, it's agents talking to other agents. And this is where things get really, really interesting.
And that leads us to this really profound idea from Daniel D'Souza at AWS. The prediction is that soon, the most basic interaction on the internet won't be an API call to a server. It'll be an agent call, one intelligent agent asking another for help to get something done.
So let's leave it with that thought. We are standing right on the edge of a new world. A world where you can connect a whole network of specialized agents to tackle incredibly complex problems. The only question left is, when you have that power, what's the first big, ambitious thing you are going to ask for?